sectors early on, comes across the line, past us now, heading down into the tricky first corner. Not the same version of the first corner that they use in the NLS. Down through the dip and into the left-hander. Now onto the back onto the standard Grand Prix circuit. They'll go all the way down to the bottom of the hill. This is a tense time in the pit lane for this car and the rest of its team. It's got the blue flashy light on, but it needs to be, surely needs to be in the conversation for the pole sitting lap and in the sharp end of the field.
It's a critical lap here, because if Laurens Vanthoor can get this car into the pole shootout, they are all of a sudden right up the front order as a favourite for the race win again, and indeed potentially for pole position. You know, as Vanthoor has just gone personal best through sector 1, first part of the Grand Prix track, so it's on track at the moment.
I think we've got a
Are we? Oh no. No, not by our timing screen.
Okay.
So that's good for Vanthoor and for Scherer-PHX. Right now, Pro Sport Aston Martin, they are on that last transfer spot. They are watching through their fingers right now, going, please traffic. They're thinking in completely the opposite way. They're going, please a code 60, please some traffic to keep them in the top qualifying shootout. So there's two totally different emotions here. Real nerves in the Scherer Sport garage. Likewise nerves in Pro Sport, but both wanting two different outcomes here. Not such a good second sector there though for Vanthoor.
Here's some news, is that the number 11 AMG GT3, the Hertling hire car, because of an indiscretion in a code 60, that Schnitzelau Mercedes will start from the back of the first starting group. And also, same for the McLaren Artura Trophy Evo. That was pit lane speeding. And the 677 M240i Racing Cup driving to fast under code 60, serving a drive-through penalty at the end of the first lap. And whichever the drivers it was there will get a DMSB penalty point. Massive little twitch there as Vanthoor came through absolutely flat through Flugplatz, and the rear of the car just wiggled. Now come out towards Schwedenkreuz is one of the biggest, gutsiest corners anywhere on the circuit, all the way over the crest, and then hard on the brakes for Arenberg. Went absolute best in sector 3 and personal best in sector 2, so Vanthoor is on a lap here. He is on a lap to get into top qualifying. He's got traffic down at the bottom of the foxhole, at least a couple or 3 cars, and Peter should be able to tell us who they are, as they are. Well, he's right with them now. Once he gets past them, though, he's got them both really nicely in the first of the right-handers going up the hill, where you go down gear, one more gear into Adenauer Forest. It was a Golf TCR was one of them, and they stayed way off the racing line. They've really helped them now towards Metzgerfeld. It's clear here now. There was a lot of work going on the right-hand side earlier on, using the uphill section to help tuck the car into the left, and then the right-hander now over the brow. Callenhart down through the right-hander. How's his time going at the moment, Peter? It's looking good. It's looking good, and it's got clear track from right now. Pretty much, he's got it's hard to say exactly, put a number on it, but there's going to have clear lap for a little bit. There is then a little pocket of traffic that he probably will reach towards the end of the lap. The siphon down that banked hairpin out through the right, then looking for the road on the right-hand side as your braking point before the bridge. There it is, turns in, drift out to the red and white curve, just touched it there. There used to be a change of surface which helped you on the turn-in, but it's not there now. He's having to do it from muscle memory, coming up to the Lauda corner before he hits the very important right-hander at Bergwerk. Lovely late turn in there. And now the consecutive left-hand corners that get progressively tighter. Put as little steering lock in as you can, but you've got to nail the last one, because there's absolutely no runoff on the right-hand side. Here he is, turns it in now. Wow, the front end of that Porsche is looking good. Much steeper here than it looks from the car. Up
towards the mud curve. You cannot take any of the curbs here. It would be absolutely disastrous and it upsets the car. Fantastic stuff from Vanthoor. I think he took a little bit of the grass on the right-hand side. Now towards the left-hander at the bottom of the hill, where the old test hill was straight ahead, and he's climbing towards the carousel, the Caracciolo carousel, aim it at the end of the EMG board there in the marshal's post. Patience, 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 and then pop out of the carousel like a cork out of the bottle.
Up towards what act then, and traffic-wise, it's still not bad. I think he's going to come across them just around Brunchen time. The next load of traffic is just coming through Wipperman. So in terms of clear track, I don't think Lawrence Vanthoor could have asked for much more. But is he going to be able to get a clear lap through? No, there is going to be traffic, but how quickly can he get by? That is the question. He's now going to have he's now going to have traffic coming towards him as he heads down the hill now, up through the curves. It's such a roller coaster ride through Wipperman and then now towards Esbach and Brunken, past all the fans. They are getting a late night show here at the Nürburgring.
He's still not had to slow down, and he's doing a really good job of keeping it up here through Brunchen up to Eisbach now. So cold because that's where it stays nasty under the trees. He used a lot of curve there. This is the fast part. You've got to know where you are on the circuit. There's lights out in the distance, but it is in the distance. And if he catches this in the right place through Ansgaard and through the Stefan Beloff edge, which I think he's going to do perfectly well. Oh, he gets cut off just slightly, had to hit the brakes. That's cost him time there.
But the Golf is actually, believe it or not, quite a quick car in a straight line. Those TCR Golfs are quick, particularly the ones in the alternatively fuel class. But up now towards the Kleine carousel comes Vanthoor sector-wise. Oh, this is going to be the telling. We'll get a next split coming out of Galgenkopf now as he comes up the hill towards the crucial right-hander onto the Dottinger Ho. Is this enough for Vanthoor? It's last chance saloon. The clock is down to 0.
So this is it. There will be no further chance for the number 16 car. And Lawrence Vanthoor with 4 personal best, 1 outright best in the sector so far, and now it is the run to the checkered flag and potentially a spot in top qualifying tomorrow, which you'll see and hear live on the Radio Show Limited network of channels, on RS1 and of course on the world feed, streaming around the world. Oh my goodness, he's got traffic, but he's
going to get away with it.
He's going to get away with this. That was a much later braking as he came through Tiergarten, and now on the front stretch. It is only the stopwatch that will tell us now. He comes through and passes us now as he goes across the line, and once his time, he goes to 3rd place at 8:12.103, and he's in, and that means the